Hello, artists! Today we are going to be making sculptures out of nothing but a box, a pencil, and pen, and we're going to make little buildings as we study architecture. So, I just found this random piece of really lightweight cardboard, like a box. You don't want big, thick, heavy, like Amazon boxes. You want something like a toothpaste box or a cereal box or something like that. Toothpaste boxes are actually perfect. But you're going to find a box and you're just basically going to fold it into 4 spots. If it's a toothpaste box, it's really easy. You can just cut it up and reverse it backwards. So find a box that you can basically fold around like this. So it's got 4 sides to your building, okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just start cutting this so that it can sit. So I want this part to be like that, just so it's more even for me to work on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in and I'm going to start making a project out of this. So join me and you'll see how we're going to do it. I'm starting with a pencil and I'm looking at a reference photo based off of Amsterdam. So I drew a little line there at the bottom so that I have that to fold off later. And I'm looking up some Amsterdam architecture as I draw this because it helps me to have a reference photo. I don't want to just draw out of my head. So you could use a photo from anywhere. Think of any skyline you might want to do. You could do New York City, Washington, D.C., London, Paris. You could do Tokyo, anywhere that you would want to do. Just look up some cool pictures and see what you think. And then what I'm doing is I'm just pencil sketching all of it in. So I'm starting with the rooftops. And I start out by using a ruler, but as I get into it more, I stop using the ruler. And I just freehand it and draw it as carefully as I can because the ruler was just making it a little bit more complicated. So you do not necessarily have to use a ruler. As this piece, I wanted to be a little less precise and a little bit more sketchy and kind of artistic. So I'm going to work all the way across and I'm just going to work on pencil sketching in each and every one of my buildings. So I'm trying to keep these kind of different so that they don't all look exactly the same. So one building I might give curved windows, another building I might do straight windows. I am erasing if I make a mistake, again, just fixing it. I'm doing different shapes for the doors, different heights for the buildings, different rooftops, so that they don't all look exactly the same, because it's just going to make it quite a bit more interesting if you can vary the way you do it a little bit. Now I'm going in with a pen and I'm going to outline everything and really make this look cool. So I'm using a fine tip Sharpie marker. So you can use a regular pen. It does not have to be a Sharpie marker. I did it before without a Sharpie. I did it with just a regular cheap pen from a bank I got for free. And it actually worked out just different, but just as nice. It was beautiful. So what I'm doing is a technique called outlining first. So I outline everything. And then I'm using a shading technique called cross-hatching. So cross-hatching is when I make my lines go one way with the pen and then I go back over it the other way with the pen. Now, windows are going to be slightly darkened. So I'm darkening those windows by cross-hatching. So you'll see I go one way with my lines. So there's one way and then there's another way. And there I go cross-hatching it one way, another way, one way, another way. And I'm just giving them a nice shading by scribbling in some cross-hatching texture. Then I'm also kind of adding some other random sketchy lines on the building just to give it a little something extra. I'm being kind of artistic with this and expressive. It's not perfect. I'm having fun with it and just kind of feeling, giving the building kind of some mood with my pen. So going in and just adding as much texture as I want and adding in some lines to give it the view of shading. So step 1, outline the building. Step 2, I'm going in with the pen and I'm cross-hatching, which again, cross-hatching is when you do lines both ways across to create value or shading. And it's especially nice to do with pen because pen is much harder to shade with than pencil, but it's actually a lot of fun in a lot of ways and gives you some really cool, bold effects. so now I'm going to put this piece together. So I'm going to fold these parts of the bottom back. So that it sits flat. Okay, fold that back. I'm going to find the original box folds, like so. I folded in this little tiny flap at the edge. I'm going to just fold it up. And then what I need to do now is I need to take some glue. If you don't have glue, you can try tape. And, no, it's okay. Just take some glue, put it across there. And I'm going to hold it there so the flap is held tight. Hold it there for about 30 seconds or so. And then once you've held it for a while, your piece will be finished. Okay, so my architecture piece is done and I'm really happy with it. It looks awesome. I'm covered in glue, but that's okay. You can also use tape on the inside. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this. It is so much fun. So be creative with what skyline you want to choose. You could choose your favorite city. You could choose your local buildings. You could choose your town square. This was based off of Amsterdam, one of my favorite places. I think they have the most beautiful architecture. So have fun choosing your place, and I can't wait to see what you guys create.